Your biggest issue might not be what you think it is. At the core, it's always a trust issue. The number one question everybody's asking about you is not, do I like you? It is, can I trust you? Here is special because these are the people. They're often the ones that are really driving attrition down, retention up. These are the people that get that people are the most important asset, and I want to give them some things they can do to even build more trust. Welcome to the Trusted Experience from around the world. We get to do this virtually. When we look at isolated issues like culture, turnover, sales, leadership, even engagement, it doesn't matter what the problem appears to be. We've seen it in the research, and we've seen it in the organizations we've worked with around the world. The real problem always comes down to trust.
I firmly believe that with programs like this, it's the foundation of any organization. Any other leadership program won't work until you put things like this in place.
If trust is this important, how do you actually build it? How do you do it? Here's what it looks like. The foundation of the program is based on the 8 pillars for building a high-trust culture throughout your organization.
These are the core issues that make a trusted brand, global government, or solo operation.
Here we go. Number 1, what did we learn? We learned people trust the clear, and they mistrust or distrust the ambiguous. They also mistrust or distrust the overly complex. I see branding groups, I see marketing groups around the world over-complexify things to look smart, and they lose trust. But the 3 most overlooked, underused questions that actually lead to clarity, that changes things, that takes an idea to an action, they're these. How? Number 2 is even more important. How? And the most important question of all is, from this day forward, how? If you want to change something, you've got to ask how until you will do it.
His enthusiasm, the way he could relate, he can make trust a real thing. Energetic and amazing. He did exactly what I wanted him to do.
If you haven't been to a rodeo for a while, here's how it works. First half of the rodeo, the cowboys and cowgirls rope things. Second half of the rodeo, they get bucked off of things. In the middle, they let the locals get involved. They call it mutton busting. For those of you that don't know what this is where they let 5 to 8-year-old kids see how long they can last riding a big Suffolk sheep. I don't know why. I looked down at my 5 and 8-year-old at the time, and they are looking at me with eyes of terror. Vanessa is one of the last to go. She's the lightest kid in her class, littlest kid in her class. I said, Vanessa, you can't do it like that. Vanessa, you got to take those dangly 8-year-old legs. It was her birthday that day. She just turned 8. I said, Vanessa, you got to take those dangly 8-year-old legs. You got to wrap them around the belly. You got to pinch her heels as tight as you can. Vanessa, you got to lay down. You got to velcro your belly to the wall. You got to wrap your arms in there. You got to dig your fingers into the wall. And whatever you do, Vanessa, don't let go. I'm a great dad. They open the bull gate. This little girl, she's holding on. People say, look at the, can you believe it? Look at the little girl. She's cruising across the arena. The clowns come out. Little girl, you can let go now. She will not let go. I walk out into the arena. I pick my daughter off. She grabs onto my neck. We're in the middle of the arena with people cheering. And I'll never forget what she said in my ear that night. Daddy, Why'd the clown say let go? You said never let go. She was committed. And she trusted herself. Think she was scared? I bet you're scared sometimes. As a board member or parent, I am. But you and I have got to hold on. We're in the greatest industry with the greatest opportunity for the future that ever was. And we've got to build these pillars in ourselves if we ever want to be trusted by our kids, our teachers, our students, or each other, and especially ourselves.
I took 3 pages worth of notes. It was time very well spent.
And I gained some amazing insight today.
Last year, on the U.S. side of the study, the #1 reason people want to work for an organization ahead of more benefits, ahead of getting paid more, ahead of a more fun work environment, they want to trust their leadership more than anything else. You could put any generation in this spot, traditionalists, boomers, XYZ, and ABC, and they all said exactly the same thing, plus or minus 1%. We're more similar than you think. People love to work with people and for leaders they trust.
Blown away by it. It was exactly what I needed to hear this morning.
Best keynote speakers I've ever seen.
His message is so powerful, it's literally transformative.
Trust is a confident belief in a person, a product, and an organization. And when I confidently believe in you, everything changes.
So relevant, and buckle up because it's going to be a ride.
Fully invested within 5 minutes. He was great.
David's presentation this morning was one of the best that I've ever heard.
You've got to build these pillars authentically so we can trust ourselves enough if we're ever going to be able to build it on our team or in our store or in our community. Because at the end of the day, everything of value is built on one thing: trust.